You are now tuned in to the GNWY podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the GNWY podcast. We are in Denver, Colorado once again. Not once again because we stayed here for a little bit, but we are here with EYA, and we brought none other than, we've had some amazing guests. And today, and well, not today because we have multiple Tuesday, but right now we have none other than Mr. Tom Coverly. Everybody make some noise one time for Tom.
Yo.
Okay,
appreciate
what's up,
you, man.
bro? I appreciate you. We've connected, bro, on a lot of things, man.
Yeah, we did.
And one being, we love the kids, bro.
That's it.
We are here for the kids.
That's it.
I don't know anybody else that's out here doing it like we're doing it, man.
We have a lot of kids across this country.
Right, a lot of them, man. So, okay, tell the people what, give a brief rundown just real quick of who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I do a comedy magic show.
Yeah.
Been doing that for a long time, but then I found a way. I was doing that professionally, entertaining celebrities, doing big events and shows, and then I realized, man, that was empty. So I wanted to do a way of impacting kids. So I found a way of taking magic and comedy as a way of entertaining, not just entertaining kids, right, but delivering a message of hope. And so that's why I came up with an assembly called Destroy Illusions, right?
Yes.
I entertain them, but I want to destroy the illusions and lies they're believing, but then replace it with truth and reality to who they are.
That's good. Okay, so to the brutal, honest truth, every time I see a magician go into a school for motivation, I cringe, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I get upset, and I'm so glad that you call yourself an illusionist.
Yeah, okay? That's it, right?
You,
That's
for one,
funny.
You're hilarious, but for real, you have an impactful story, and how you present it it makes sense why you've been doing it for however long. How long?
In the schools, 17 years.
17 years. Wow. Yeah. Congrats, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And so you started doing magic first or no magic?
No, magic first. It was a hobby, though,
and then
at first, before the career.
Right?
I've always been funny.
Okay.
I mean,
of course.
Yeah, some people think so.
Excellent. Yeah. And then you've been, how did you get into, what was the realization you wanted to take it into the schools?
Yeah, actually, bro.
Wasn't you a youth pastor, right?
Yeah, I was a youth pastor.
Yeah.
So teenagers of all I have ever worked with since I graduated college, right?
Okay.
Actually, in college, I was working with teenagers,
and
just not getting paid for it, right?
Yeah,
and I was a kid.
Right.
Just volunteering, right, and helping. And then, so I youth pastored for a long while, was doing that, but then I realized, man, the people we're called to reach aren't breaking down the doors to get in church, bro.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to just go reach kids where they were at. So I was doing the comedy magic show, which wasn't my idea, by the way. We can dive into that in a second. But I got to a point where this guy came to me, an older gentleman, and he was booking a speaker in a school and then doing outreach events at night, right?
Yeah.
And so he said, Tom, have you ever thought about speaking in schools? And I'm like, I don't want to speak in schools, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love teenagers, but I was doing more of like faith-based type events, right? Being a youth pastor.
Yeah.
So I said, man, I don't know. And he's like, I think just give me 2 weeks. I'll book you in schools. We'll do a whole bunch of schools that week. And then at night, we're going to do some outreach events. And I'm like, all right. So I put together a school assembly, bro, anti-bullying, At that first, that's all it was, right? Destroying the illusions and lies. I did call it Destroy Illusions even way back then. And I did my first school assemblies, man. Yeah. And then we did outreach events and kids just surrendering their life over to God, man. Wow. And just kids who were empty and hurting, man. Yeah. And so I fell in love with the formula, right? Yeah. It's not original with me, you, that guy. Like other people have been doing that for quite a few years too, right? Yeah. And so I just fell in love with it, man. And I haven't stopped. I haven't looked back since. I've been just doing schools across the country, man.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we could probably go into a bunch of stories about, you going into schools and then hearing the stories from the students, right? And you tell the people what are the main topics that you hit on.
Bullying prevention, suicide prevention, mental health.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you get the occasional substance abuse or things like that, but mostly mental health, vaping. Bullying, and suicide prevention, man.
Yeah. That's good. And so, why did those things specifically like hit home for you?
They hit home, bro, because it's most people, I don't tell the students my personal story.
Right.
You and I have chatted about this, but to let those, people listening and watching at home, I attempted to end my life twice. I was going through, this is quite a while ago, probably 15 years ago or so, or longer. And so I was going through a really rough time and had 2 serious attempts, man. And God's like, you're not done. You're not done.
Crazy.
And without getting into the stories of how that was, I shouldn't be here, bro. But God had different plans, man. So I'm passionate about that. Bullying, man, I was bullied as a kid.
No.
Yeah, I know. I look
funny,
so
man.
cool now and so funny.
Yeah, so funny.
Yeah.
I could
So
control
cool.
the crowd so good. Yeah.
No, man. I was... Listen,
For what, though?
I was a skinny. When I say skinny, like you could see my ribs.
Just real.
Yeah, right here, that was me with a face on it.
Yeah.
Bro, I was so skinny, man, and I had bad complexion, right?
Okay.
Dermatologists weren't around when I was a kid, man. I'm 50 years old now, so
Right.
dermatologists weren't around when I was a kid.
You got great skin now, though, man.
I don't know how it happened, man.
You just had to
Popping up. Don't pop pimples, because if you
Scars.
zoom in close right now, you'll see some
Is that what that
some
is?
little crater things going
no,
on.
man. You look great.
I'm
You look
50
great.
years old, but no,
When you said that, though, that blew me away. That's your magic trick. That's your illusion right there.
it's an illusion because I really feel 85.
Bro, because his biggest illusion is he does not look 50.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a good magic trick, man.
Definitely.
No, I did nothing to deserve that because both parents of mine look young.
Okay,
both.
well, there you go.
Both. So, man, I was skinny and I broke out like crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
It wasn't like a few spots. It was just bad all down here, and so.
Hey, it went down the neck.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So I got bullied so bad. And growing up, my parents did everything they could, right, in their power to provide for us, but wasn't a wealthy home, man.
Yeah.
And so not like I had a choice to be able to do much about it, know, and so got bullied a whole lot. So that's always been a big drive of mine. I always had a heart for the down and outer. I always had a heart for that kid that's sitting in the corner, like outcast, looking like he don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
So I always had a heart, man. So that's what brought it along, man.
It's crazy, like, whenever you and I talk, like, it's crazy to me that the main basis of whenever, we're talking about the things that we currently do,
Mm-hmm.
we're really talking and we're building this thing, whether it's, destroy the illusion or Gen Y or whatever, but it's like it's like we are really just being that thing that we wish we had whenever we were a kid.
That is so true,
You
man.
know what I'm saying? And like whenever I was talking to this one guy about his one of his nonprofits that he has going, and we were talking about kids' imagination and everything, and even like hearing people's stories here today or over this past weekend, or even kids and everything. These students' innocence is being taken.
It is, man.
And whenever you take that innocence, bro, you take away their imagination.
No.
And whenever you take away their imagination, you took away their identity. Those are the 3 eyes that I feel like it is pivotal for a student, a kid, to be able to craft, and then be able to, navigate through, to be able to become like a well-balanced human being. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And so, like, you lose your identity, bro, it probably started because you lost your innocence somewhere.
It's true, man.
So anyway, but go ahead. You were talking.
No, man. That's why I want to destroy the illusions and lies that kids are believing, right? I tell people all the time, like, man, how can you, they're like, well, how do I know, right? Or what do I say to someone who's suicidal? What do I say to someone who's depressed? And I'm like, listen, first of all, listen. Because that's all what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants someone to just listen. And if you listen, they're going to tell you a bunch of lies. Now, I'm not saying lies about their situation, lies about themselves, right? It's typically, no one would miss me if I'm gone. No one cares about me. Let's just take them too, right? As well as I do, I've been in enough schools that I'm there after a suicide takes place, and kids are lined up saying, if only I knew. If only I knew. If only they knew how much I cared. If only. So these people believe the illusion, right? We all have. We believe no one will miss us. And so when you believe that, if we listen, the best way I give encouragement is to replace that illusion that they're believing about themselves, that lie about themselves, and replace it with a truth, right? So if no one would miss me, remind them of the truth.
Yeah.
Start talking to them and say, man, who loves you the most? Just turn it. Who loves you the most, man? Who loves you? And they start talking about mom or grandmom or, you know, someone. Would they miss you? And all of a sudden, it starts to renews the mind, right? Yeah. Because now I went from no one would miss me to, man, my mom would miss me, man. Yeah. And that's all we need is truth, right? Yeah. Or I'm all alone. Yeah. You're like, are you really all alone, man? Like, even if you feel like you have no friends in this world. Bro, I did a school that invited me out. There were, at the time when they called me, they said, will you come? Our community's hurting. Small little town in Pennsylvania, Sagertown, Pennsylvania. There were 5 suicides in this small little town of kids in less than 6 months. They called me, will you come? They said, we're not even going to do a school assembly. We're going to do an evening event. Our community needs to laugh. So I came out. I did my comedy magic show, getting them laughing. And then we talked a whole lot more than I normally would talk at a family show, right? Yeah. 2 weeks before I got there, the father of one of the fathers that lost his son because he took a gun, the dad gave up on the gift of life, man, the same way. 2 weeks before I got there, I show up. There's this couple that came up to me. They said, hey, can we bring someone back to talk to you? I was backstage before the show began, when the event began. And this couple came up, and it was the couple that lost their son and their grandson. And they just said, we lost our son and grandson within a period of 2 weeks of each other. Bro, they gave me a hug, sobbing. I couldn't understand a word they were trying to say. They were sobbing so hard. Yeah. But they did just want to say, thanks for being here. We need this so bad, right? What was cool with that event, man, it was standing room only, this small little community. Yeah. It was incredible, man. And here's the cool part. I've never watched God move so much at an event in my entire life, hands down. Before that event, I've watched 12 different churches, all different denominations, finally come together, man, right? That's dope. Came together. Yeah. Churches coming together, different denominations, man.
You don't see that a lot.
No, man. Yeah. So the unity of realizing we're hurting. Yeah. Then usually you do those kind of events and it's like, no, we'll get the Christian counselors in here and we'll get the, right, with good motives, right? And so that community was like, we need to reach out to counseling that maybe they have different beliefs, everything. Wow. Because the bottom line, the root thing is the common denominator is our kids and our families are hurting in this community and we need to reach them. So you have big brother, big sister, all different kinds of organizations, Christian, non-Christian, all coming together, bro, for this event. There was a sign-up list of people asking for prayer at this event. Wow. For 2 weeks before the event began, people signed up for a full hour around the clock, 24/7 for 2 weeks straight. Families would walk around the perimeter of that school praying, maybe just one person by themselves or however they signed up, right? And rain, shine, through the middle of the night for 2 weeks straight, man. They sat and prayed.
That's dope.
But I share all that to say, like, I had said, man, can you guys go to a thrift shop, find a door, and they put a door there. I said, put it on wheels, and then make sure it's a door that has the old, those doors that you look through, and it's got the big opening you can see right in there because it's got the skeleton, skeleton key type old doors, with the big old keys. I said, bring one of those out, and they wheeled it on stage, and I talked about how a lot of us, I stood behind the door. And I'm looking through this keyhole right now, and the only thing I see is the exit sign in the back of the room. I can't see anybody else in this room. And that's like a lot of people are hurting, right? They are thinking nobody cares about me. No one would miss me. All they see is the problem right in front of us, and they just want to end it, right? And I'm like, and I open the door, bro. And I'm looking around the room. And I'm like, here's all the people that care about you. Here's all the people that love you. And replace illusions and lies with truth and reality.
Say that one more time.
Take illusions and lies, whatever
and lies.
someone's believing, and just replace it with truth and reality.
Yeah.
Illusions versus
man.
reality, lies versus truth.
That's beautiful, bro. That's so dope. Bro, okay, so you are doing amazing stuff, traveling the nation, all that kind of thing. And now are you allowed to say?
I could say, because we've been putting some teaser clips and stuff out.
Okay, so what is this? You're you're hosting?
I'm hosting. There's no co-hosting.
Hey,
I'm the host. Let's get that. Let's get that truth and reality right.
The main guy on set. So you are hosting what show?
It's called Influenced.
Okay.
It's spelled influenced, right, with a D at the end.
Yeah.
Influenced with no vowels. So
Gotcha.
it's NFL NCD.
And this is gonna be broadcasted on what?
It's
you can't say it. You
no,
can't say
that part I can't say.
Okay, gotcha.
But let's just say there's some major networks and streaming services that people have on their TVs that
Let's go.
might get picked up. So we're finishing season 1.
Yeah.
Coming up, the whole premise of the show is influence, right?
Yeah.
It's the show flies in the biggest influencers, right? We're starting with social media, but it's beyond that, right? There's lots of big influencers in this world. So we're flying in influencers, but it's not even about the influencer. It's about who influenced them.
Got you.
It could be a mom, a grandpa. Like, the stories have been amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Just that question alone, right? And then it's the other main question, besides digging deeper in their life, is who are you influencing? Who are you impacting, man? Because we're in this together, right? And it's been beautiful, man. So we're finishing up season 1. We're flying in 10 more influencers. We're finishing up in a period of about 7 days. Wow. Gonna knock it all out of the park,
go,
man.
Bro,
I'm so excited,
That's so
man.
dope, man. Wow. Okay. So when is it? Can you say when it drops? Or
no, because we don't know, right?
Okay,
it's just we have interest in it,
and
it's just a matter of putting it out there. Now we did in Vegas Cheer Choice Awards, which is an influencer positive. It's honoring positive influencers. This year was at the Palms Resort. Last year was at MGM Grand. And bro, this is like done super professional. Like last year, I was up for an award. I got to speak and I do a magic trick on stage. Paul Abdul sitting in the front row. Like this is like legit award show, man.
Wow. That's what's up, man.
And so it's been so cool. And then this year I was up for the biggest award they do. It's called Cheer of the Year. And it's basically the most positive social media creator in this country, right? Wow. And don't quote me, millions and millions of hits on their website and nominations. And I made top 5, bro. I just
congrats, man. That's
I don't
fire.
say that in any arrogant way, right? It's humbling, right? Because who are we, man? I want to be the hands, the feet, and mouth of Jesus any way that I can. I'll never be Jesus, but any way that I can serve people and help people, and just to make it clear, anybody watching, I don't share my faith in schools, you know what I mean? And we don't do that in the school assemblies, but it's a big part of who we are.
Yeah, man.
And so we premiered Influenced at that Cheer Choice Awards weekend, man.
Really?
In front of the biggest influencers in this country, man. So you're talking a reach of hundreds of millions of followers total if you were together. It's just ridiculous, the amount of pull that was in that room.
That's crazy.
And we did the big premiere for the show there, man.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah,
That's
we gave like a 5 to 7 minute premiere, man.
Yeah.
So if people go to Influence, a little shout out to the show. Like if you go to Influence NFL NCD on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, they could see a clip of that premiere.
That's fire, bro.
In the show.
Bro, for real, it's just literally since 3 days or 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah. We've connected it, and I think it was definitely God, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
like bringing
man.
people together. It's dope learning from you. You're an inspiration, man. Whenever I hear you talk, about even the things that you used to go through. I'm like, dang, I'm going through that right now. You know what I'm saying? Or like growing through and all that kind of stuff. And so, man, you're an inspiration, man. And I really appreciate what you're doing. So, yeah.
Appreciate it. Man, thanks for having me on here.
That was a terrible fist
that
bump.
That was. Did we get that on camera? Wait, let's do it again. Let's pretend it never happened. You ready? Yo.
Oh
yeah.
Sorry. No. You can do what you
ready?
No, let's make it natural. All
right. You ready?
Man, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah, start it up. I'm really proud of you.
You kind of said that in an Irish accent. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Where did that come from, man? I don't even know. That is too funny. Yeah, let's forget the fist bump thing.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it later off camera. Bro, for real, tell the people where they can follow you at on anything and everything.
Yeah.
And then leave them with one line that you live by.
So you can go to on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. Go to everything's the same. Tom Coverly Tour. Tom Coverly Tour, and you can follow me there. If you can't find the Influence Show, they go in the bio. There'll be links to the show and stuff like that. Man, here's the biggest thing I live by, and I mentioned it in the session when I spoke. Enjoy the journey. Yeah. Enjoy the journey.
That's good.
And what I mean by that is there's so many people I meet, right? Even students that we meet, adults that we meet at the family events and things we do at nighttime.
Yeah.
That the only time they're happy is when they're on the mountaintop experience of life. The only time they're happy is when they cross that finish line or they reach that finish line of the thing they've been working on or a good situation, right? Yeah. If that's the only time that we're happy, we're going to be miserable a lot in this life. Because this life, man, we're in it together, right? And it's hard. And those that are watching, I get it. Life is hard, and it's full of a lot of downs before we get some of these ups, right? So learn to try to enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey doesn't mean like I'm walking around like, man, this is awesome. I'm so glad this miserable situation's happened to me. Right. It's just a matter of going, man, let me find something in it to go, there is a positive in everything, right? I mean, if you're laid up in or you're sick or you're ill at home, there's always someone else worse off. You know what I mean? Like, just find the positive in it and then just realize, man, that we can use that story later on, just as you and I have both used our stories to impact lives later on. Or maybe you don't have a desire to impact someone's life, someone that's watching this, but I guarantee you that season you're in right now that's not your favorite season, learn to try to enjoy it because you're going to come out better on the other side. You're going to come out stronger. Yeah. So enjoy the journey.
That's good, man.
Bro, one more hand pound?
Tom? For the people?
Yeah! Oh, we got it.
Bro, for real, I really do appreciate you, man, for real, and everything that you're doing. And apparently, we found out earlier that we could be doing a show together.
I'm excited, man.
Let's go.
Arizona, shout out.
Baby.
Two hand pounds.
We finished it with the third.
Boom. Wait, I'm not even going to look on this right. You ready? Let's look at the camera. 1, 2, 3. We stink at it again.
Destroy the illusion, baby. We hit it.
That's it.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me on,
thank you so much, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your influence,
always,
bro. For real, and your heart.
Thank you.
You're a legit man
for what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir.
This dude is impacting lives, man.
Appreciate it.
In big ways, your entire team.
Appreciate it, bro.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
Last time.
That was a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the GNWY podcast. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.